morning. I know it's windy. It's a little later in the day than I had planned on doing this. Shorty had a little award assembly at school today, and I decided to go visit and go watch it. You know, your kids love it when you show up for things. It's something to think about. So today, I'm looking at doing Viking training task number 2. Make coffee. See, I grabbed my bag out of the trunk. This is my get home bag. I try to go gray man-ish. I'm a mechanic. This is a tool bag that I won for an award that I did something at work. Anyway, all right. So task 1 is go find water. Can't use your house water and all that stuff, so you got to find an external source, like a natural source, is what I'm getting off of that. Number 2, take the water to your backyard and make fire. Number 3, no chemicals in your fire except for your big lighter. And number 4, report back. I watched the video a while ago. I took a couple of notes to make sure I did it right this time. Okay, so task 1, we got to find some water. It's not hard for me out here. Y'all know that. Let's squat down. I have water various places on the property. I could go off property. There's a pond that way. There's a very large public creek a mile that way if I really want to go get it. Back that way there's another pond. There's another pond over this way. Alright, so in all these little valleys, everybody's got ponds and natural washouts and creeks. So I'm thinking I might go over here and get me some water out of this runoff. I don't want to get anything from lower than me because there are cattle fields and things. There's nothing up on top of the hill except for nice green trees. A lot of oak trees up on the top of the hill, and of course some pines and cedars, as you can see. And ignore my trash back there. I gotta clean that up. Although that's kind of where I shoot, so I may not clean that part up. All right, I've already wasted 2 minutes of your life rambling about stuff. All right, so this is one of my ponds on property, and it's, you'll bear with me, it's fed. Whoa. It's fed from this runoff here. I hope you can see it. I can't see it very well on the screen. And so I'm thinking that's going to be my water source. Now let's open the bag and see what we got. Okay, I moved up a little more. This is the same little runoff. It actually drops into a valley right there. I'll show it to you in just a second. So basically, everything's wet. This fire thing is going to be interesting. We had a pretty big storm yesterday and last night, so obviously everything's wet. So most of you know me that watch my channel. You know I like the Sawyer Mini. That is the easiest and fastest way to get clean water, in my opinion. I don't know that we're looking for easy and fast, but if I'm trying to get home, I am. Granted, I'm not going to stop and make coffee. I like to use my kits though, because that's the point, right? Is to use your gear. And so I'm going to use my gear today. And so what I've done, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. So I have in my kit, I have a canteen with water in it already. Good water, clean water. My top fell out. My canteen also has the cup in it. So I'm thinking about using that, since it's what's in my bag and it's what I'm carrying. However, I'm making a coffee. I'm going to use my Sawyer Mini water filter. So let's go get some water, huh? So one thing I wanted to point out is when I was coming back down here into this little valley where the runoff was I stepped around the creek spot, the runoff, and I actually put mud in it. So it's something to think about when you're using a water source. Try not to disturb the flow. This is actually a double runoff that comes from this way and from up here. And my plan was to get my water from here, so I knew that I was going to come down that way. And I'm really in a really tight spot right here. There's a lot of thorns and overgrowth because I can't get my tractor in here, and I like this little area to stay natural anyway. The deer kind of hide out over here in the tall grass. Anyway, I'm rambling again. So something that I find is when you get your bag out, generally they're just all rolled up. You know, you try to keep them rolled and compact when you're putting your stuff away. So I usually try to blow it out. Just kind of make it a pocket, you know, just an big empty pocket. And I'm gonna try to get this clean water here and fill up my squeeze bag. Try not to get any sediment in it. Smells good. I mean, there's nothing above me that I could think of that would be bad for me. So there you go. I got a full, all the way to the top, bottle of water. I'll get some more. I mean, that's awesome. And if you see, I hope you can see it. This is actually kind of like a water fountain. It's kind of pushing out, so it's kind of spilling out. So it's like sticking it under a water fountain at work or at home or at school. I mean, I don't know how old you are. So without disrupting the sediment, I have a perfectly good full squeeze bag full of water for my Sawyer Mini. This is gonna be good coffee. Just gotta get it warmed up now. I have a thorn in my back because I've wedged myself in here for you people. Oh! Okay. So, now that I have a wet leg, I got a good bottle of water here. I've got my Sawyer Mini, which I'm going to pack all this back up. We're going to go back up to the house and make a fire. So my Sawyer Mini usually rides in the front here, where I can find it. I get to it pretty quick. Take my clean water, put it in these cargo pants pockets that, you know, why you got cargo pants pockets, I don't know. Okay, still got a thorn in my back. Let's go back to the house. Man, it is swampy down here. I say down here, but I'm on a hill. Look at all that water. Man could drink for days, weeks, probably years. And this is what I'm talking about. I just walked through here. This is my first runoff. It actually flows down, come on hands, down through there. And then on this side, it's not as, come on hands, it's not as thick, not as big. It only used to run here and then run down this side, and this is where I got my water from, down there in that mess. But it only used to run from this side, and somehow it started running around, and now the majority actually runs around that way. It don't bother me none. My tractor can get through it. This isn't low country, it's high country. And most everything is solid on bottom. So you just get to cool off your stuff when you're driving through the water. Little dandelion. Mmm. All right, we're rolling. So what I've done is I've spared y'all the agony of watching me make tinder and get my little fire spot ready. And no, I don't have enough wood here. So here's the thing, like here, you might see that I have these big wood around the outside. The idea is if you've ever had a fire in the water, in the rain, you may have tried it. I've tried it. You can stick your wetter wood around the outside or your bigger wood and let it dry out around the inside of your fire. And I've done this before and it's worked. What I've done here is I dug me a hole and built up my fire level, my fire a little higher. So the idea is it's really windy today, but the wind seems to be coming from this direction. And so I'm going to try to make like a dugout or dig out. It's kind of a sort of like the Dakota fire hole, but not the same. I'm just hoping I can get a little air under my fire and get it blazing pretty quick. It's just something I'm gonna try. This is my makeshift bird nest here that I made out of some cedar bark and a couple of dry leaves tumbling along the ground. I'm gonna see if it's gonna work. But I'm gonna kind of cheat a little bit. I'm not gonna use chemicals, but I do have some dryer lint over here in my bag, and I think I'm going to try it, and I think I'm going to try to use a ferro rod instead of a lighter. Because it's windy and the lighter doesn't want to work really well in the wind, I think I'm going to try to go no fuel at all for my first attempt and try my ferro rod out with my lint and see what happens. Now I do have a cotton ball with some Vaseline, a couple of them, but I can't use chemicals or else I know this fire would be going. So I'm going to try the lint today and see what happens. Man, it is super windy. All right, hold your breath. There it goes. Woohoo! Look, a volunteer. back up and punt. I got a little smoke there. I think the hole's working too good. Okay, I think I officially have a fire now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It wasn't super simple. So now I just got to get this thing fed and keep it going. Move all my stuff so it don't burn up. Take my hat off, maybe it'll open up my hole a little bit and get that going. Okay, 7 minutes. Goodness gracious. Stay tuned. Okay, I'm really trying to make a nada. I'm really trying not to make a really long video. So I got my canteen cup out. Here's my sorry water filter. Fire's kicking it in the background. This wind, I'm really nervous about it. But I think I'm in a somewhat controlled environment. Drop my lid. Alright, so you see the point. I'm going to do this on the ground so I don't spill it all. I really don't want to leave my fire now that I've got it going. To get more water, of course. It all. I'll have to back flush it in a minute. Got some pretty dead-gum clean water as it is coming out of that runoff down there. So let's get it going, eh? right off the bat. I got more trash in it than I started with. So I did a video yesterday. I modified it already. I put these in a bag. But this video is about I was thinking about this and how I was going to do it. Palmetto Paratrooper did a video a few months ago about how he made his little coffee filters. You know, if you're not a cowboy coffee drinker, I don't know if I am or not. I'm a very new coffee drinker. But I've already got a little bit of a boil going there. I don't know if you can see that. So yeah, what I've done is I put it in that filter, put my scoop of coffee in there, and I used some dental floss to make the knot and make the rope. And now that I'm doing this, I may not be able to keep my dental floss from actually burning. It's not looking like I'm going to. I'm not. I'm gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. Lesson learned. Let's see if you can see there. So I've already got some boiling going. This hole here is really throwing me some seriously good flames with that backdrop back there. I mean, that thing is, it's almost a rocket stove. Let's make some moves. Move a couple of pieces around here. I hope you can see all that. I'm going to put on my gloves. I'm going to put on my gloves so I don't burn my hands. I'm going to move my fire up a little bit. A little bit more wood in there. And I'm telling you, one thing that's really helping my fire burn hot is this cedar. It burns pretty hot. And I think the other thing, honestly, is just that wind shooting under that hole. Now, I've never done this before. I thought I'd try it and see how it turned out. And it's working out pretty good. Get out of my hole way now. Okay, I was time-lapsing that just so you don't have to sit through it all. I have a rolling boil. Wouldn't you agree? My coffee's hot, baby. Ready to rock. Set it right here for a second. I can't drink super hot coffee. I don't have the those super super tactical lips and tongue yet. I'm still a civvy when it comes to drinking super hot coffee. So that's gonna have to cool down for me. Let's just let's see, set it here. I'm gonna get me a place to sit down and we can have a little fireside chat. Okay. I'm gonna have to move because my fire's gonna burn my butt cheeks. Over here. Can you see me over here? Kind of, sort of. Still hot. Woo. Can't even touch my mouth to it yet. So what have I learned? Learned that it's probably too windy for you to hear me talk. And that you're gonna get to see all my junk. So my mechanic / welder's fingers can touch it, but it's just not cool enough for my pretty mustache lips. Okay, maybe. Here we go. It's hot. That's what it is. It's hot. I can't even taste it yet. I don't remember there being a requirement not to use ice cubes. I'm not going to though. I'm gonna relish the fact that I pulled this off, and I think I pulled it off fairly easy. I have all the best words too, Bear. I fumble around through a lot of these things that I've done and do on TV, on camera. I've done a lot of these things before. I'm learning. I'm learning all the time. I'm not faking that I know these things. I mean, the Dakota fire pit is awesome when you have the right land. I didn't technically use it, but I kind of modified it for my own use by using the outside sticks and digging the little hole underneath to get my airflow. That's just from experience and watching videos and reading and learning. Those are all things I've picked up and I've tried. One of the big things I've always told people, even before I started YouTube and stuff, is if you're planning on using your gear, if you're getting something to use it. You know, don't take it out of the package when you need it. You need to know that it works. Yeah, this was a brand new cup. It's got some war marks on it now, some battle marks, and I probably am going to wash it off because it's kind of sticky from the see a hawk. It's kind of sticky from the cedar wood burning, the resin in the cedar. But I lost my thought again. I do that a lot. Oh, use your gear. These Viking training tests, to me, they're not as much complicated as they are proof that you can get out and not know how to use something that you have. So in my opinion, that's what these are about. For me, is getting out and using my equipment, giving me a reason to, other than I should just go do it on my own, which I do sometimes. But since I've been watching Pastor Joe and Viking Preparedness, since I've been watching Bear Independent, I've wanted to do a whole lot more. It's got me motivated to come out here and do it more like I used to. You know, moving in this house last year, I didn't have time to do a lot of things. We read the Wild at Heart series through Bear Independent, or we're reading it, I guess, still technically. I've gone through the whole book because I thought it was really good. And in the beginning of it, it talks about a man needing to get back to the wilderness, and I agree with that. I love being in the wilderness, and I plan on doing a whole lot more this year. So at risk of making this video way too long, that tastes like my coffee. It's good stuff. That's my first sip. I can finally stomach it with my precious lips. It's great coffee. I'm gonna let this fire burn down. I'm gonna sit here and enjoy this coffee, and then I'm gonna cover it up because it is super windy. Pastor Joe, Viking Preparedness, thank you for the task. Looking forward to the next one. Y'all have a good one.